morning. My name is Rob Furman, Senior Analyst with Katusa Research. I'm here with Gary Thompson, Chairman and CEO of Brixton Metals. Gary, welcome to the VRIC.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. So we've survived 2014, 2015. It's tough couple of years. Do you think we're finally through the bottom of the trough and it's going to get a bit more exciting for everybody?
Yeah, I think so. And I think 2016 we saw a bit of a run, trying to get off the ground. And I'm certainly I feel confident that the worst is behind us. And I'm getting the sense that we're off to another bull run here. And I think it's going to be a choppy ride, but I think we're in for a pretty good run.
I hope so too. So Brixton is a Canadian company. You've got a project in BC and in Ontario. Let's talk a little bit about those two projects.
Sure, yeah, we have two projects. If you think of Brixton, think of gold in northwest BC, and then you think high-grade silver in Ontario. The BC project is called Thorn. It's a large property that we hold 100% of. We've identified, what we're working on now is two large-scale gold anomalies. We started drilling the Outlaw Zone last year, and we've got it to about 450 meters of strike at about 150 meter centers. And it looks like the sedimentary unit that's hosting the gold mineralization is about 5 kilometers long. So we think that's a pretty significant deposit. And then in summer of last year, we've identified what now is the largest gold anomaly on the property, which hasn't had any work on it to date, really. So we think we have a new emerging gold discovery on our hands. It's a large system. It's actually the largest gold anomaly on the property now. We have a 7 square kilometer gold in soil anomaly, and then we've supported that by running some IP geophysics, and we've got a very strong chargeability high that corresponds well with the geochem. So we're very excited to drill that in 2017.
Yeah, that's exciting. And then on the Ontario property, that's a high-grade silver project.
Correct. That's fairly new for us. We got into these projects about a year ago, and since then we now have 3 past-producing high-grade silver mines that were running up till about 1990. The camp was actually a very active camp. The cobalt silver camp produced about 500 million ounces of silver up till 1990 when the price of silver crashed. So we're in the process of assembling, consolidating lands. We see it more as brownfields exploration. And then last year we were doing some drilling there. We hit, just drilling around some of the old workings. We actually hit a gold zone there in the silver camp, which is kind of exciting. We hit 4 meters of almost 5 grams of gold and almost 400 grams silver. And then lower down in the same hole, we actually hit 1,900 grams silver at over 3 meters.
Wow.
So in one hole, I think our first round of drilling has been very successful. And if you want to see what 18% silver in the rock looks like, come by our booth. We've got some surface samples from the Penashaft 7 dump that we assayed and came back in a percent silver, which is pretty remarkable.
That is remarkable. So let's talk a little bit about your management team and some of your strategic shareholders. You've got quite a list.
Yeah, we're pretty excited to have attracted the guys like Rob McEwen, which is our largest shareholder. Eric Sprott came in last year. Hecla Mining's been there for a number of years. We've got Tahoe as a shareholder with the Golconda acquisition, and the management's obviously a big shareholder. So we've got, half the company is held by good, strong hands here. So I'm one of the founders with Cale Moody. I used to run a company called Sierra Geothermal Power, which was acquired in 2010. I've got about 25 years experience in mineral exploration, oil and gas, and renewable power. Soren Pusescu is our VP exploration. He brings like 20 years experience in exploration development. We've got Danette Swab, which joined us last year. She was part of the Frontier team that built up Long Canyon, which was acquired by Newmont for $2.3 billion. Of course, Cale was involved with Underworld Resources, which was acquired by Kinross in 2010. So we've added a couple strong board members. Ian Ball, he's the CEO of Abitibi Royalties.
Yep.
He worked for Rob McEwen for a decade or so. And then Carl Herring joined our board. He brings like 35 years experience doing exploration all over the world. And he was involved with Brett Resources that built up 10 million ounces in Ontario, which was acquired by Cisco. So
no shortage of experience for you guys then.
I think so. That's solid team, technically sound, and we're excited. We're invested. We're committed to making this business a success.
That's great. Can investors look for financing this year, do you think? Are you cashed up? What was your cash balance in your last financial statement?
September was, end of September is our year end, which was 4.2 million. Okay. So obviously we're less than that. We were still drilling towards the end of the fall there. So yeah, we'll be looking to do a round of funding at some point. We're in decent shape though.
Yes.
Obviously we have a lot of drilling that we would like to do to advance these projects towards our maiden resources. So, you know, our proposal, I guess our wish list would be to raise $5 to $10 million over the course of the next year, 18 months. That would move, I think, both of these assets towards that maiden resource.
Exciting, good stuff. And so what can we think about in terms of news flow for this year Catalyst? Are you guys going to be drilling both projects, or are you going to focus on one? What can we look for?
Yeah, we are proposed to drill on both projects. The great thing about the Ontario side is we can drill all year round. So we're actually looking to get the drills fired up here shortly. So we have that opportunity to drill throughout the winter. And we'll go kind of back and forth between the two sites. But you know, Ontario's great, good access,
Sure.
Infrastructure is hard to beat, so the drilling costs there are low. We got a little bit of a challenge on the BC because we have a seasonality issue.
Sure.
So we can start drilling there in May and it'll go till about October. So
right.
we're pretty focused to get in there early in the season and get a jump on it and get some drilling there. But I think between the two projects, we're going to have a good amount of news flow come out.
That's exciting. And we were talking a little bit earlier before the show started. You were thinking maybe doing a maiden resource estimate in Northwest BC. That's probably a 2018.
Yeah, I think we're probably a
idea.
year away from, depending on the amount of drilling. You know, we're looking at about a 20,000 meter campaign on the Thorn project in BC,
right.
And then about 30,000 meters in Ontario. And I think if we could get to those numbers, I think we'll be well on our way to get to that maiden resource.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. And what kind of grades are we looking at in Northwest BC for a 1 gram per ton kind of deal? Is that about right?
Well, the outlaw zone is we're drilling about a gram. We hit about 60 meters, gram plus gold, and about 5 grams silver.
Yeah.
But that thing has a long strike to it.
Sure.
It looks like
Lots
a big
of room.
system. I think there's lots of room to grow that. It's still early days.
Yep.
We're about 450 meter strike on a 5 kilometer potential zone
Yeah,
there.
that's big. Lots of room.
We've yet to drill the Chivas zone that we're getting grades up to 16.7 grams from surface sampling. And the stuff out in Ontario, this bonanza grades. I mean, like say we hit,
Pure silver.
1900 grams silver per ton over 3 meters, and then some of the surface stuff you're talking percent. So
Right.
obviously, we'd love to
substantial.
get some of those big percent, per meters would be great.
Sounds good. Well, it sounds like there's a lot of exciting news flow. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.